the day Jacob reunited with his biological father. From the prestigious Williams family, I gave birth to our daughter, fearing his newfound family might look down on his humble past. Jacob proposed we keep our marriage secret. For 5 years. He never allowed Kiera to call him dad. Years later, I accidentally overheard his conversation with a friend. Now that I have equal social standing with Sophia, I've finally waited for her to become single after 5 years. But you already have a wife and child. Emily will understand. She's followed me all these years without complaint. I'll never mistreat her or Kiera. Stunned, I resolved to leave with our daughter forever. The always composed Jacob suddenly became frantic searching for us. But this time, neither Kiera nor I would look back. During Kiera's hospital visit for fever, we encountered Jacob and Sophia in the corridor. My listless daughter's eyes lit up. "Daddy." Jacob froze, his gaze turning glacial. "Uncle," Kiera immediately corrected, burying her face in my chest. Since infancy, Jacob would punish her with time-outs outside whenever she called him daddy. Now his mere glare made her shrink in guilt. "Ms. Taylor, why are you here?" Jacob addressed me with polite detachment, reinforcing our pretended distance before others. He'd claimed to be overseas until tomorrow, yet appeared here with another woman. Suppressing my anguish, I mirrored his formality. "Mr. Williams, my daughter has a fever." Kiera's weak cough made Jacob's jaw tighten. He nodded curtly before murmuring to Sophia, "She's our housekeeper." The socialite wrinkled her nose. "Keep your germs to yourself. My Olivia caught illness from unhygienic children like yours." The sapphire pendant at Sophia's throat stabbed my heart, the $100 million auction piece Jacob recently acquired in Europe. In the treatment room, Kiera endured the 4-needle without sound, tears silently falling. After the nurse left, she asked, "Mommy, is that the lady Daddy loves?" My eyes burned. How could I explain adult complexities to my 5-year-old? When I proposed moving away, she stiffened. "Will there be no daddy there?" Her quiet resolve shattered me. "Wherever Mommy goes, Kiera goes. We stay together forever." Jacob found us later, pressing his palm to Kiera's forehead. Uncharacteristic tenderness softened his features. "Brave girl. I brought you something." The rose gold hairpin he produced made her gasp. "So pretty." "Thank you, Uncle." He turned to me, the glittering accessory catching hospital lights. "The Mitchell merger requires certain appearances. You know how these society marriages work." His thumb brushed my wedding band, invisible to the world yet searing my skin. "This changes nothing between us." Outside, autumn leaves swirled like the day we first met. But the college student who'd whispered love vows under maple trees now existed only in memory, buried beneath Jacob's bespoke suits and icy boardroom demeanor. Kiera slept clutching her new hairpin, unaware of the gilded cage we inhabited, where affection came bark-coated and childhood innocence dissolved in champagne flutes at charity galas. I watched monitors beep rhythmically, each pulse counting down to the inevitable collision of our two worlds. The Williams and Mitchell families have business dealings. Since Sophia's daughter was hospitalized, it's only right that I came to visit. Don't overthink this. I remained silent. Jacob hurriedly said, "I'll come see you both tomorrow," before leaving. Kiera tugged my hand, eyes shining with barely contained excitement. "Uncle gave me a present. Does he like me?" She clutched the hairpin while raising one tiny finger cautiously. "Mommy, can we give him one more chance?" Before I could respond, she rushed on, "Next week's preschool sports day. If Uncle beats Lucas's dad, we'll forgive him." She paused, then shook her head. "No. Lucas is super strong. Uncle can't win against his dad." The little frown between her brows softened as she amended, "If Uncle just comes to the sports day, we'll forgive him." I gazed at her hopeful face, bitterness flooding my heart. Finally I nodded. "All right. Jacob Williams, This last chance comes from your daughter. He never showed up the next day. Kiera sat all day on the couch facing our apartment door, watching the motionless handle with desperate hope. When I texted Jacob about the family sports day, his social media feed showed new photos of Olivia Mitchell, Sophia's daughter. The girl sat beaming in a luxury hospital suite surrounded by designer gifts. Captioned, "Get well soon, princess." More presents coming from Daddy Lucas. Sophia had been Jacob's high school crush, the wealthy campus queen who never noticed the quiet scholarship student. 5 years ago, when Jacob discovered his biological parents' fortune, he finally entered Sophia's social circle. Their reconnection intensified 6 months ago after Sophia's divorce, coinciding with Jacob's prolonged absences from home. For years I'd begged him to publicly acknowledge us. His constant rejections eroded our marriage until last month, when I overheard him telling friends, "My inheritance depends on maintaining certain appearances." That night, I contacted our lawyer. Now, as I prepared to send the divorce papers, his reply notification flashed, "Okay. I'll pick you up then." My trembling fingers showed Kiera the message. She froze momentarily before erupting into joyful jumps, carefully selecting her favorite tracksuit and making me polish her sneakers until they're snowy white. Sports day morning found us waiting as the wall clock's ticking grew louder. Kiera's hopeful fidgeting gradually stilled, tears pooling despite her efforts. I knelt before her. "Let's go ourselves, sweetheart." She wordlessly marched to the door, silent tears tracing her cheeks. I carried my precious girl, not Jacob's treasure, but my entire world. At the preschool field, we unexpectedly found Jacob. Kiera didn't notice Sophia lingering behind him. She broke free from my hand, running to clutch his arm. "Daddy! I knew you'd come." He jerked away as if scalded. This time, the familiar icy expression carried a hint of panic and anger. "What did you call me?" "Take your hand off." The little girl froze, pouting as she withdrew her hand. "Hello, Uncle." Jacob looked up at me, his voice low. "Who told you to bring her here? Shouldn't she be in preschool? Get her out of here." He'd forgotten this was the very preschool his daughter attended. Sophia turned around in surprise. "Isn't this your housekeeper's child?" I pulled Kiera behind me. "What a coincidence. Mr. Lucas. My daughter attends this preschool." Jacob stiffened, guilt flashing across his face as he glanced between me and Kiera. Sophia narrowed her eyes. "Where's her father?" "She doesn't have one," I answered without hesitation. Jacob's eyes widened, his mouth opening to protest when Olivia suddenly charged forward. The little girl shoved Kiera, hands on hips. "No, daddy brat. Don't steal my daddy, Jacob." Jacob instinctively reached for Kiera, but I was already shielding her. His hand hung awkwardly mid-air as he mumbled, "Children say thoughtless things. What's there to apologize for? Just a housekeeper's kid." Sophia interrupted, linking arms with him. My grip tightened around Kiera's small hand. The school bell rang for lineup. Kiera tugged my sleeve, eyes glistening. "Mommy, we need to go." "Bye, Uncle." Something caught in my throat as I managed a strained I didn't see Jacob's stunned expression as we walked away. The field buzzed with competitive energy. During the first ball toss game, I landed every throw into Kiera's basket for a perfect score. We dominated subsequent events through seamless teamwork. Though Jacob's team performed well too, their triumphant cheers kept piercing through the crowd's murmurs. "That man's so handsome doting on his wife. Did you see him tie her shoelaces earlier? The way he speaks to her, so enviable." My husband, Kiera's father, now playing house with strangers at our daughter's school. I turned away, swallowing the bitter lump in my chest. Our winning streak continued until the piggyback race left rope burns bleeding on my palms. Kiera's radiant smile made it worthwhile, temporarily erasing the Jacob-shaped shadow. At the water fountain, Jacob appeared with bandages. "Why push so hard? It's just games." He set the first aid kit on the ledge before gently wiping Kiera's forehead. You did amazing today. Kiera! Be careful not to catch cold. My daughter's eyes lit up like dawn. Jacob had rarely praised her before, his usual demeanor frostier than winter. My conflicted heart softened seeing her joy. Then he murmured, maybe ease up for the final event? Olivia needs to win. Second place should satisfy you. My soul iced over again. Kiera's smile faded into a straight line. Of course. His heart had never truly intended to embrace us. The PA announced the next event would begin shortly. Jacob smiled and patted Kiera's head. Attempting persuasion again, if you win second place, I'll take you to Disneyland tomorrow. Deal? Okay. Uncle. Kiera answered with red-rimmed eyes, her voice trembling. Jacob's hand stilled mid-air as Sophia called out to him from behind. He hurried over immediately. What took you so long? Chatting with the nanny again? Sophia complained, tossing her glossy hair. Fire that woman. I can't stand her. Whatever you say. They'd never see us again after today. Kiera tugged my sleeve. Mommy. I don't want to compete anymore. I don't want you getting hurt. What about winning? Her determined gaze met mine. Not worth it. She'd given up on her father, I'd given up on my husband. After completing withdrawal procedures at the registrar's office, we returned home. While I packed essentials, Kiera quietly gathered her stuffed animals and art supplies. Night fell without Jacob's usual excuses about overtime. Morning came with continued absence. Our flight departed at 12:30 p.m. I left divorce papers on the coffee table. Kiera stood beside me, removing her butterfly hair clip. After brief hesitation, she placed it beside the documents. Dozens of missed calls from Jacob flooded my phone after landing. During the final relay race, our absence left him unsettled. He and Olivia clinched victory, yet their trophy felt hollow. I only wanted them to ease up, not quit entirely. He muttered, checking his Rolex. Deciding to reconcile after the awards ceremony, Jacob's lips curved upward until Lucas Whale sliced through the celebration. The second-place winner sobbed, snot dripping onto his stationary prize. Where's Kiera? I didn't mean to call her loser. Teacher, make her come back. The educator crouched to comfort him. Didn't Kiera say goodbye? Her family moved out of state. Jacob's smile died mid-formation. Aren't we leaving? Sophia tapped her Louboutin impatiently. He stood paralyzed, replaying my desolate expression and Kiera's shocked face during our last argument. Rushing to the teacher, he demanded, why would Kiera transfer? Family relocation. Poor Mrs. Taylor. Impossible. Jacob's fingers trembled over his phone. The automated utility payment notification briefly reassured him Emily had no income. No means to leave. This must be misunderstanding. She'd always worshipped him. New realization dawned, Emily probably withdrew Kiera to avoid Sophia discovering his secret family. Warmth flooded his chest at her sacrifice. He'd make it up to them tonight. Olivia chose that moment to launch herself at him. Daddy Jacob, let's get ice cream. Her shrill voice carried across the field as Jacob mechanically patted her back. Eyes fixed on the empty spectator seats where we used to cheer. When Jacob met Sophia's gaze, he had to suppress his desire to see us temporarily. Taking the mother-daughter pair to a steakhouse. The restaurant had a self-service area where Olivia demanded fries. So Jacob went to fetch some. Olivia took one bite before spitting it out. These are disgusting. These aren't fries. Her loud complaint drew stares from nearby diners. Jacob and Sophia hurried to console her, realizing she disliked the fries' soft texture. Sophia summoned a server with a snap. What's wrong with your chef? My daughter can't eat these soggy fries. The server apologized. Our fries are made this style. But you might enjoy our popular mashed potatoes instead. Have your chef remade crispy fries immediately? Sophia demanded, crossing her arms and tilting her chin haughtily. And control these rowdy children running around this dining environment is appalling. Olivia mirrored her mother's arrogance, rolling her eyes at the server. Patrons began watching the spectacle with raised eyebrows. Jacob found himself contrasting the scene with how things would unfold with me. Kiera would have happily carried her plate to the salad bar, content with any food while thoughtfully asking about his preferences. He resolved to take us to the amusement park tomorrow, certain we'd appreciate the experience. When informed they couldn't order fries à la carte, Sophia scoffed. We frequent Michelin-starred establishments. We're only here because the child insisted. Jacob suddenly recognized the truth beneath Sophia's designer clothes. Wealth couldn't mask poor upbringing. Their confrontation escalated at a hot pot restaurant where Olivia commandeered a birthday celebration, blowing out another child's candles. The boy's mother calmly requested an apology, but Sophia dismissed them. We'll pay for the cake. Jacob, clear this place out for Olivia's comfort. The situation imploded when the boy's father emerged from the restroom, none other than President Yoon of Cloudlux Group's Greater China Division, whom Jacob had been courting for a major partnership. The executive's gaze turned glacial as his son sobbed about the ruined cake. Fancy meeting you here, Mr. Williams, President Yoon said icily, while Sophia remained obliviously combative. Since you're acquainted, tell your son not to upset our princess. Jacob's stomach dropped, realizing Sophia's antics had jeopardized his crucial business deal and exposed the stark contrast between her family's crass behavior and my graceful upbringing of Kiera. Mr. Yoon kicked aside a chair with deliberate force, the scraping sound echoing harshly across the floor. Who gave you permission to speak? He thundered. Jacob, I only address you as Mr. Williams out of respect for your father. Now your woman dares bully my son? Jacob's position in the Williams family remained precarious as the latecomer among 4 siblings. Estranged from his stepmother, professional success remained his sole path to earning his biological father's approval. Swallowing hard, Jacob bowed slightly. My apologies. My friend spoils her daughter excessively. I'll have her apologize to you and Mrs. Yoon immediately. The steel-haired tycoon remained unmoved. Sophia flushed with dawning comprehension about the power imbalance. Yet her lifelong pampering as the Mitchell heiress made public humiliation unthinkable. Tears welled in her expertly made-up eyes as she deployed her signature pout. But our Olivia just wanted to watch the dance. Mrs. Yoon, ever the gracious hostess, softened at the sight of tears. Today's our baby's birthday, she cooed, smoothing her son's hair. We'll relight candles at tonight's party with your whole kindergarten class. An even bigger cake. The boy nodded, mollified by his mother's warmth. Observing Mrs. Yoon's poise, Jacob's mind drifted to a memory from freshman year. After military training, classmates discarded camouflage uniforms like trash. Poor farm boy Jacob had collected them for relatives until Emily appeared with stacks of girls' uniforms she'd gathered. Grateful yet mortified, Jacob avoided her for weeks. Yet Emily kept greeting him warmly across campus. Their 3-year college romance survived parental objections and shoestring budgets. You're the strongest person I know, Emily had declared during their shared commute days. That's worth more than any fortune. Jacob vowed then to cherish this woman forever. Everything changed after Jacob's biological father claimed him. At a charity gala, Sophia's champagne laugh turned his head. He hid Emily and their child, drifting apart as his world expanded. The high school crush he'd idolized now sat across from him, her beauty warping into something grotesque. Only Emily remained real. I told you we shouldn't settle for this dump. Sophia's shrill voice shattered his reverie. I'm calling staff to throw Olivia a proper party. The impromptu celebration at Mitchell Manor lasted until dawn, with Jacob conveniently staying over. He awoke at 11 to his assistant's frantic call. Yun Mao Group canceled their partnership. We value integrity above profits, Mr. Yoon stated when Jacob called. Last month I saw you with different women than yesterday's spectacle. Forgive my bluntness. But Sophia holds no candle to Emily. Our initial interest stemmed partly from Mrs. Williams' reputation. The truth struck like thunder. Their chance encounter with Mr. Yoon a month prior had sealed this fate. Jacob's trembling fingers hovered over Emily's contact as Sophia demanded breakfast in bed. That day, Mr. Yoon happened to be on an overseas call dealing with an extremely urgent matter. The person on the line spoke German, which Mr. Yoon wasn't fluent in. So I stepped in to help. Before becoming a homemaker, I'd been a high school English teacher. After Jacob joined the Williams family business, much of their operations involved overseas dealings where documents were often in English. I naturally became his translator, reviewing materials, drafting emails, and supporting him wholeheartedly, noticing their frequent collaborations with European companies. I taught myself French and German. Though I'd quit my job, my life never slowed down. Given the time-sensitive nature of the issue, my assistance proved crucial for Mr. Yoon that day. The conversation ended abruptly when Sophia emerged wearing a silk nightgown and wrapped her arms around Jacob from behind. He stiffened imperceptibly before turning to ask, "Do you speak German?" She giggled. "Why would I? I studied in England." "How about French?" "Parents forced me to learn as a child. But I hated it." Jacob clenched his jaw, swallowing his irritation. He disentangled himself from her embrace and stormed out without lunch, determined to find me at home. If I could intervene with Mr. Yoon, maybe the deal could still be salvaged. But the house stood empty when he arrived. My phone went straight to voicemail. His gaze fell on the coffee table where divorce papers lay beneath a pink hair clip. The world tilted as he snatched the documents. Seeing my signature on the final page left him gasping like a fish out of water. He'd never imagined I'd file for divorce. Not after all those years of unwavering support through poverty and hardship. We'd built a life from college sweethearts to raising our adorable daughter. Men of influence, he'd assumed, were entitled to distractions. He thought I'd tolerate his indiscretions. Frantically dialing my number again, he received only automated responses. Stumbling through our half-empty home, he wandered into the nursery. Most toys remained Barbies, picture books, but the tiny backpack was missing. Our daughter must have taken it out. A blue princess dress in the closet stopped him cold. Memory flashed, her twirling in that frothy gown, asking, "Do I look pretty, Daddy?" He'd brushed her off with a curt, "Go find Mommy." Now the recollection punched through his ribs. His phone buzzed with my text, "The terms comply with legal requirements. Sign and we'll finalize at the courthouse." When his call went unanswered, he messaged desperately, only to receive, "We have nothing left to discuss except the divorce." After that, no matter what messages Jacob sent, they went unanswered. I took Kiara back to my hometown, a small third-tier city. Since childhood, relatives and friends had praised me as an obedient child. But only my parents knew I had a stubborn streak. Once I set my mind on something, I pursued it relentlessly. This same determination with Jacob had left me scarred and regretful. When my parents saw me return with Kiara, they said nothing but immediately scooped her up with teary-eyed smiles. After the joyful reunion, neighborhood kids whisked Kiara away to play. My mother asked about my plans. "I'll look for teaching jobs," I said. "If that doesn't work, I can tutor at cram schools." My father nodded. "Good. We'll make sure you and Kiara never go hungry here." An unknown number called as we spoke. To my surprise, it was Sophia. Her voice dripped with condescension. "This was your doing, wasn't it?" "I don't know what you're talking about." "Think leaking our scandal will make Jacob come crawling back? Pathetic. He slept with me last night. You commoners never understand. I could have paid to bury this trending topic. But I'm letting it spread. Watch how the internet rallies behind us." Baffled, I checked social media after hanging up. Footage of Sophia and Olivia's restaurant tantrums had gone viral. After causing scenes at the steakhouse, they'd repeated the performance at a hot pot place in the same mall. Outraged comments flooded in. Trashed one restaurant, then moved to destroy another. Disgraceful parenting, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That man's the long-lost heir to the Williams fortune? Money breeds entitlement. Sophia got expelled from our UK uni after a drunk driving death. Trash attracts trash. I closed the app, only for Jacob to appear at my door that evening. His rumpled clothes and haggard face contrasted sharply with his usual polish, though he remained painfully handsome. Memories surfaced: freshman year military training. Watching him strip his camouflage jacket. My breath catching at his sculpted arms and chest. For 9 years. That face had anchored my heart. A bitter laugh escaped me as my father grabbed a broom to shoo him away. I stopped him. This needed closure. Mad at me for hiding your status? Jacob rasped. I'll take you to meet my parents right now. Emily. I smiled coldly. I heard you talking before your Europe trip. The secret marriage was always about keeping Sophia close. Did you think I wouldn't find out? Only faint surprise flickered across his face. Emily. It's not like that. Our families do business. And she's a single mother needing support. Don't overthink. You slept together. Adultery means I should have taken half your assets. His composure shattered. It was one mistake. One night. He grabbed my hands desperately. I'm begging forgiveness. Emily. Please. I yanked free. Kiera and I gave you chances. You forgot her school events. You're tainted now. Jacob. The blow visibly staggered him. In that silence, every neglectful glance, every cold shoulder, every betrayal came crashing back. My daughter Kiera had woken up at some point and walked over clutching her teddy bear. Jacob's dull eyes lit up as he urgently called out. Kiera. Daddy's here to take you and Mommy home. Kiera remained unmoved, gripping my hand tightly. No. This is where Mommy and I live. This time. The hope in Jacob's eyes shattered completely. The phone rang at the worst possible moment. Jacob glanced at it and answered with complicated emotions. The angry voice pierced through the receiver. Jacob. Look what you've done. Why are the trending topics multiplying instead of dying down? Of all the women, you had to pick Sophia, that gold digger. I didn't recognize the voice but guessed it was Jacob's biological father from the Williams family, who always spoke with patriarchal authority. Jacob listened obediently to the tirade before hanging up and immediately contacting Sophia. Her sugary voice came through first. Jacob. I was just about to call. Post that statement I sent you online. Follow the template exactly, it'll build your image as a doting husband and powerful CEO persona. Netizens love relationship drama. Once public opinion shifts, they'll be shipping us instead of criticizing that restaurant incident. They'll see you as, are you brain dead? Jacob snapped, veins bulging. How dare you? I quietly pushed him out while he was distracted, locking the door behind his protests. Later, Jacob signed the divorce papers. I received half his assets and full custody of Kiera, with him getting bi-weekly visitation rights. My new job as an English tutor offered flexible hours for parenting. During his last visit, I learned the Williams family had demoted him from headquarters to some provincial branch office. Meanwhile, Sophia became social media's favorite villain. Viral threads exposed her history of bullying classmates during her UK studies. Her ex-husband went public about her manipulative behavior, including turning their children against him. Protesters pelted her with eggs in public, and her family's boutique chain teetered near collapse from the backlash. I stopped following their drama after that. These days, I'm marking Kiera's growth chart on our living room wall, watching those pencil lines climb higher. I know we've already won our brightest tomorrow.